Hello, everybody. Just want to say hello. This is Steve Holland. I teach at the Windsor Centre, and I'm going to be doing your homework review video. Remember, this is Year 4, Block 6, Week 1. I hope you have enjoyed some of the sunshine and not been working for all of the time. Anyway, let's make a start. Anyway, today we are, I'm sure you know, going to be using this book, The Discover Non-Verbal Reasoning. And you should have done Lesson 2, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. Remember the You Could sections, which was Lesson 2, Part 4, and the Puzzling Penguins puzzle in the Bond non-verbal reasoning puzzles. Sounds interesting. Okay, before we start going through the answers, what I thought we could do was actually have a quick look at the helpful hints. Now, my first one would be to say what you can see. Right, write it down if it helps. Eventually you won't need to do that because obviously it'll just be so much easier. Eliminate. Cross out the ones that you think or you know cannot be the answer. Personally, I cross out the shape rather than the letter, but that's up to you. Don't spend too long on a tricky question. Come back to that question at the end if you have time. And remember, every shape should have something in common with the rest of the shapes in the group, in the circle, in the oval. If your answer doesn't, then it's not correct. Okay, so number 1. We're going to need to look to see what we have. Alright, and don't forget this is to find the shape that fits. So if you have a look at each one, I'm sure you have, you see you've got a line. There's only one line, but it's all different shapes. That doesn't mean to say, but that is something they all have in common. What else can we say? Well, they've all got 3 short, smaller lines running perpendicular to the main big line. Now, some of them have 2 arrowheads, others don't. Okay, so we've got that one there, that one's got a one there, but if you look, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a bit of an odd one out, because it's the only one that has a double arrowhead. And this one doesn't have the line at the end, but it doesn't matter. The key thing is there is one main line, 1 arrowhead, and 3 short lines there. Okay, so let's have a quick look. A, can we get rid of that? Yes, we can, because of that. Well, that's got an arrowhead, but it's got 2 lines, but only 2 lines. That's got 2 big lines, and 4 arrowheads can't be that one. Now, that's got an arrowhead. It's 1 line, but again, it's only got these 2 short lines. Can't be that. So the answer has to be... Oh, give us a second. It's running a bit slow. Answer has to be E. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look at the next one. Let's have a look. The answer for this one is C. But why? What is it that makes the answer C? Well, let's have a look at the shapes. Got lots of different shapes there. Okay, trapezium, square, irregular. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Each shape has 4 sides. They don't have to be the same. Again, have a look at what we got. Start with A, no. Look at B, no. Why can't it be that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got too many sides. That's only got 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why our answer is C. Okay, move on to the next question. Again, same sort of thing. Find the shape that belongs. Let's have a look. So, 1 big triangle, 1 smaller triangle. So these two are very similar. they have the blacked out triangle in the middle. These two are the same. They have one triangle, big one smaller one in the middle, but this time that one is clear. There's no shading. And again, we've got one big triangle and we've got one little triangle, but this has diagonal lines on it. But as you can see, it's different to all the rest because it doesn't follow the shape of the bigger triangle. The one key thing is that there's one big triangle and there's a small triangle in the middle. The shading doesn't matter, as you can see. Let's have a quick look. The answer is C. If you look, we've got one big triangle and one smaller triangle. All the rest, that's got one outside, that's got two inside it, not even in the middle, and these two cross over, overlap rather, so it can't be that one. Okay, let's have a look at number 4. And number 4, the answer is E. Why? So we'll look at our shapes. Each shape has 2 lines. Now some of the lines go at right angles. Some of them form a T shape, and other ones just cross in the middle to form perpendicular lines. So, are there any where there is just 2? Oh, what about the angles? Are they all right angles? Yes, they are. So we've now got something else in common. Right angle, 2 lines, yeah, can do that, but no right angle. 2 lines, no right. 3 lines, get rid of that straight away, get rid of that straight away. We've got there, and our answer is E. So we'll look at our next one. Okay, a little bit more difficult by the looks of it. We have 1, 2, 4 shapes. Each one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each one has the bigger rectangle, or the bigger shape is split into 5 equally sized shapes. Let's have a look if there's something between them. So each one has got a black square. That one's got a clear one, so there's nothing in the middle there. But it's the only one that has that. Then it's got some shading there. It's got something with a shape in the middle there. So the only main thing that is common between all of them is the fact that it has one black square. So we're going to be looking for a shape. It doesn't matter what the shape is, as long as it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's common for all, and it has one black square. Okay, so let's have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, but no black square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No black square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No black square. So our answer is going to be C. Let's have a look at our next one. Oh, went too far. You can see the answer is C, but why? We have shapes. They're not all the same size, and in those bigger shapes, there are some smaller shapes in the middle. Well, let's have a look to see if there's anything else that is common between these shapes. You can find in all of them. It's got 2 triangles, a square, circle. That's got 2 triangles, an oval, a circle. So it's not a circle because I can't see well on that, so I've just had a quick look at my book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And an arrow. 1, 2, 2 triangles, a plus sign, and that's it. And 2 triangles, 2 straight lines. And so you should have written down the things in common are 2 triangles. Okay, 2 of these. Alright, and it doesn't matter of the shape. That is the thing that is common, because each one also has different things in the middle. So we are looking for a larger shape, of which in the inside there are 2 triangles. Let's have a look. No, no triangles at all. No triangles at all. Well, we know it's C. Look, we've got our 2 triangles. The shading doesn't matter as well. If you look, some of them are shaded, some of them are not. Okay? Two triangles? No, and no two triangles. So as you can see, our answer is C. Right, let's move on to the next one. Very nice. So we have, what do we have? We have one line, one big line. Okay. We have, at the bottom of each one, it's like a bit like a plant, isn't it? So we have this shape here, another line running at right angles to the line. So that's important. And at the top, how many leaves do we have? Do they all have the same number of leaves? So quick look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2. Yep, they all have the same number of leaves. I'd call them leaves, but they're probably not. And is there anything in common between the shapes at the end of these lines? Well, no, there isn't. So that doesn't matter, but there needs to be a shape at the end of each line. So three things are: one main line, a root at right angles, another short line at a right angle to the line. It has to have 3 leaves, and it has to have a shape at the end of it, but it doesn't matter what it looks like. Right, quick elimination. 2 leaves, go away, another 2 leaves, 3 leaves, and a shape at the top, and we have at the bottom a short line at right angles. Could be 2. No, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you missed that, or caught that rather. There we go. Answer is E. Let's have a look at 8. The answer for 8 is D, and I'm sure you could work out why. Okay, so can you quickly tell somebody, there's somebody next to you, why? So look, does it the number of sides, that shape? No, it doesn't matter. That's got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, but only 3. So that means it's not the shape. It can't just be a 4-sided shape. But if you look at each angle, each corner, there is that's like a little semicircle bit there. Okay, no semicircle bit there. They're all overlapping squares. Same with that. Same with, they're all completely different. And that is why it's D. Doesn't matter the shape, but on each of the angles it does need to have this little semicircular bit here. Okay, really important. And the last question in this one. Okay, again, look at the shapes, look at what you see. We've got, are they all the same? No, they're not. But we've all got a shape. They're all regular shapes. Okay. What else? Well, it goes a line. Now, is the line to one side, or is it going straight down the middle? Well, it looks like each one of these goes straight down the middle of that shape. That's what we're looking for then. We're looking for one shape. Doesn't matter what it looks like. And a thick black line going down the middle of each shape. 2 thick lines, 2 thick lines, 2 thick lines. Now we're left with 2 shapes remaining. Okay. Is that going down the center? Nope. Get rid of that one. So let's have a quick look. Yes, it's E. Well done. Let's have a look. Let's give you the answer for this. D. Why is it D? Next time you need to get somebody sitting next to you so you can tell them why. Okay? If you can tell somebody why, the answer, the reason, then that shows that you really, really understand what you're doing. Okay, so let's have a look at shapes. We've got lines, good. The end of each one, look, we've got arrowheads. The type of arrowhead, so that's all the same. So that means that's something important, remember. What else do we have? Well, if you look at the last line, the last bit just before the arrowhead, you notice that is the bit that crosses, say, that first line. And then we get the same. That crosses that there, and that there. Does it matter on the number of lines? We've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, and so it doesn't really matter. So the key things we have is straight lines. Okay, they're all angles, so you get any curves, can't have it. Each line at the end must have an arrowhead. Well, we've got that there. If you notice, that doesn't go across here. Okay, so that does mean that we can't have that one. Got a straight line, 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter the number of things, but it's got no arrowhead. The arrowhead, but it doesn't cross, that arrowhead does not cross that one. Well, we know it's D, but if you notice it's got 1, 2, 3 lines, doesn't matter the number of lines, but it's got an arrowhead and that arrowhead crosses. Now this one, it could be. But if you notice the arrowhead, the line with the arrowhead on it, does not cross the starting line, which is the reason why. Okay, it crosses these two. It can't be that one. There we go. Okay, so part 2. Before we go on to part 2, just a couple of things I would like to say. You were asked in the book to mark your answers onto the answer sheet on page 33 for part 1. It's really important you do that. The boxes that you have on page 33 are the same type of boxes that you would get in the actual 11 plus. So get used to doing it. Make sure it's one line. Make sure it's nice and thick, as is shown in the example. If you make a mistake and you get the wrong one, you think, oh no, well, I've got that one right now, I'm going to change my answer. Make sure you rub out your first line. Really, really important that you rub that out. Okay? Get yourself a really, really good rubber to be able to do that, so you cannot see, because the papers they're not marked by hand, they are marked by a scanner as they copy them in, and then the computer just goes through and notes what answers. So if you've got 2 answers down, you won't get a mark, even if you sort of rubbed out one. Alright, so that's really important to remember. Get used to doing it now so it doesn't become a problem later. Okay, and you don't forget. Alright? Okay, let's move on to part 2. Here we go. So, very first thing we're going to do, we have, again, this one. Don't forget to cross out the ones that cannot be the answer. Let's have a look at what we've got. How many dots? Does it matter? Well, let's have a look at our shapes first, our big shapes. So that's like a T. It's got an angle shape there. We've got a little square. We've got a triangle, part of a semicircle. So it doesn't matter on the shape. They're all different. What do they have in common? Is there anything? Well, these have got dots. So each shape has dots in the middle, circles rather. Some of the circles are shaded, some of them are not. Does it matter how many circles? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, that's got 5, the rest have got 3. So it doesn't matter how many circles we have, as long as we have circles spaced out here in each of the shapes. Is there anything else? Well, yes, each shape has one blacked out, shaded in circle. None of the other, so only one. Okay, right, let's have a quick look. I'm sure we can eliminate some. We can get rid of that because that's not got any blacked out circles. It's got a circle but 2 rectangles. Let's go away. Oh, then it could be that one. Well, let's have a look. Okay, let's see how we're going to do. That one, no, because the shapes inside are squares. And that one, no, because that one there, that little blacked out one, is a rectangle. So our answer is going to be C. Fantastic. Let's have a look at our next one. Oh, my computer's been a bit slow. So, our next one, let's get rid of that line, shall we? Is C. Just leave it there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes. Does it matter this type of shape? No, it doesn't, because they're all slightly different. What do they have? What about the number of sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Okay, so no. But they all have a line going through the center. Okay. Is there anything else? There might be something else. Hopefully you spotted it. No. Well, if you look at that line, that represents the line of symmetry for each of these shapes. So the answer has to have a shape, doesn't matter the number of sides, but we've got our line of symmetry there. If you folded that over, it would just fold in on itself. 1, no. If I cross that over there, we wouldn't work. This one, no, same thing. The answer is C, we know that. If you can see, if I folded that over, our line of symmetry would mean that would be exactly the same. D and E, well, the line doesn't even go down the center. So definitely not, and that's why our answer is C. Okay, let's move on to our next one. Number 3, our answer is B. And same thing, look at what you see. Look at what is common. Okay. Alright, we've got this oval shape. There's an oval shape there. Part of a semicircle. Cone shape there. Another bit of a semicircle. It does have a semicircular shape there, but that's inverted, if you can see. That's the sort of outside, whereas these all go out. That one is creating the semicircular shape inside. So even though that's different, one of the key things is this shape here. Okay, now our answer is B. Well, let's have a look why. There's no semicircular shape. That has an angle going in. There's all angular. There's none of this semicircle. Same thing there. You can see we've got this one here, which means that's it. Okay, answer is E. Why? So, a shape. Didn't matter on the shape, the number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. No, sorry, 1. No, it doesn't matter on the shape. Each shape, though, does have 2 arrows coming out. Okay, it's usually from furthest apart. That one comes out. Anything else? Oh, this almost like a double head. So one over there, and each line has an arrowhead on it, and it only has 2. No. It's got 3 lines coming out with arrowheads. No, it's got 1. No, not at all. And that's got 2 arrowheads, 2 lines, and that's why it's E. Let's move on to our next one. Look at what you've got. Write down what you see. As you can see, our answer is A. We're going to move that. What do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. But what is the thing? Does it matter? Well, we've got 4 lines, but dot in the middle. You could say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what is it? Says each of the lines got an arrowhead on it. Yes, but does that matter? Well, no. Only those 2 have arrowheads. Those 2 don't. This one doesn't even at all. These 2 don't at all. What about the shapes in the middle, or the shapes on top of the lines? These are circles. You can see blacked out circles, coloured in shaded circles. There's 1 there, 1 there. So that's got 5 blacked out circles. Just got 1 in the middle. That's got 1 blacked out circle again. That's in the middle, and that's in the middle. So it looks like all of them have these blacked out circles in the middle of each of the shapes. Blacked out circle in the middle. Well, it has it, but no. 2 arrows. No, not that one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not in the middle of the shape. That's in the middle of the shape, but we've only got 1 line going out. No. And these are regular shapes, if you notice. Okay. So that's got 2 arrows. Can't be that one, because you've got a mix. You've got arrows and a shape. Notice the shape does not have arrows or lines coming out of it. Doesn't matter on the ends. Not all of them are the same, but it's got the black dot is in the center of that shape, so that's why it's A. Question 6. The answer is B. And again, we'll just have a quick look at what we've got. 1, 2, 3 shapes the same. Okay, 1 is bigger, 2 smaller. Alright, that's the only one that has that. This one, the rest have shapes that are the same size. These are all joined on the edges, but this one, as you can see, overlaps. Does it matter? Is there anything that they have in common? Well, else that they have in common rather than three shapes of the same. Not shaded. Okay, each one's got not shaded. One has of the shapes for each one, if you look, has got horizontal lines. There we go. And the other one has shaded. Okay, so our thing, if you wrote it down, would be, so look. So I'm going to write this one down. I'm going to make sure it's small enough. I'm going to make my text small enough, and I'm going to write that in. So it has to have, and if you haven't done it already, and if you've got compute, you need a very good brain to remember all this. It needs to have three shapes, the same. It needs to have, what I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm just going to add some very nice bullet points into it. Three shapes the same. It needs to have one shape, okay, and that shape has to have horizontal lines. One shape, oh, you need to put that in. One shape has to be clear, no shading, okay. And one shape has to have shading. Okay, one shape. Oh, capital, why on earth did I do that? Okay, shaded. So those are the reasons why that's what we're looking for. Okay, doesn't matter which way they are joined, and it doesn't matter if they overlap. They have to have those three things. Have to have those three things. Right, we know it's B. Look at the reasons why. Yes, no shading, but no horizontal lines. Not shaded, horizontal lines. Two shaded, and those aren't horizontal lines. One's diagonal line shaded, hatched. And there we go. So it can't be any of the other ones, as you can see, and it has to be B. Let's go on to question 13. Question 13. You should be getting these by now. So look, answer is C. What do we have? Does it matter on the number of lines? No, it doesn't. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it doesn't matter on the number of lines. What does matter? Well, let's have a look. At the end of each line, we have these circles, or at each angle. Okay, some of the circles are not shaded, and some of them are. Let's see if there's anything there. Well, I've got 2 not shaded and 2 shaded. 2 shaded, 3 not shaded. 2 shaded, 2 not shaded. 3 not shaded, 2 shaded, 2 shaded, 2 not shaded. Okay, so I have to have at the end of each line. Okay. Anything else? Well, these are angles. So on. So, can it be B? 1, 2, 3. No. Because one of the things that is the same is these 2 shaded. Does it matter what the non-shaded? No, it doesn't. Because some of them have got 3 non-shaded. That's got 3 non-shaded and 3 shaded. Can't be that one. That's only got 1 shaded. Can't be that one. That's got 1, 2, 3 shaded. No. That's got 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2. And that's our answer. 4 shaded. No. Okay. Let's have a look at 8. Reason is question answer is D. Again, what do you have? 2 shade, 1 circle. That's the same for each. So our shape has to be a circle, the big shape. So we'll look at the shapes in the middle. Anything which is the same. Well, it looks like each one has got 2 squares in the middle. Is there anything else the same? No, that one's got an arrowed and a shaded circle. That's just got a double arrow. That's got a cross and a shaded circle, and that's got 3. So we're looking, it has to have 2 squares, non-shaded, 1 circle. And that's got 3 other shapes, and that's only got 3 other shapes. It's got 1, 1, 2. So let's have a look. What we've got, no, can't be that. Too many shaded shapes. Can't be this because it doesn't have our 2 squares. Get rid of that one, it's only got circles. Can't be that one, it's only got 1 square. That's got 1 square, but no. And if we look at our answer, it's got 2 squares and a mixture of different shapes. Let's go on the last 2. We have A. Again, let's look at our shading. Let's look at our shapes first. Each one of these has a triangular top and a rectilinear shape at the bottom. Okay. The shading is diagonal, if you'll notice. Doesn't matter which way it's pointing. If I turn that around that way, that would be diagonal. So each one has got a shading diagonal, and if I did turn that one around, the shading would run from left to right, going upwards diagonally. Okay. Oh, that's our answer. Shading left to right, rectangular there. Why can't it be that one? Definitely not. That's filled in. Wrong way around for the shading. Could it be that? Well, if you turn that way around, is the shading going the right way? You need to think about. Yeah. And lastly, answer C. Why? 2 shapes which are the same. The smaller shape is shaded completely and it overlaps on one bit. Okay, and no, not that. Yes, but they are 2 different shapes. No, because that is got her diagonal lines. No, that's hatched, even though they're the same shapes. Same, that's why it's C. And finally, lesson 2, part 3, page 41 to 45. Now, I've put some helpful hints up here as well, and count everything. Check all the shading, check the direction of the shaded lines, check for dotted and solid lines, check for curve and straight lines, check the size of the shapes, and look for reflective and rotational symmetry. Big words there. Okay, reflective. If you put a mirror against it, it'd be symmetrical, it'd be the same. And rotational, if you rotate it, exactly the same. Let's go straight in with number 1, and our answer for that is E. Why might it be E? 4, I can't count. 4 circles. Okay, so that is something they all have in common. 1, 2, 3 shapes. 2, 3 shapes. Are they all symmetrical? So if I put a line down the middle of this shape, is it symmetrical? Yes, it is. So it doesn't matter the number of shapes. That's got 2, that's got 2, that's got 2, but that's got 3. So that tells us it doesn't matter the number of shapes in the middle. Does it matter about the shading? Well, no, because that's shaded, that's got diagonal lines, that's got vertical, and neither of those 2 are shaded at all. Doesn't matter about the shading, but it does matter whether or not they are symmetrical shapes. That's really important. Let me just get that for you there. And if I put a line down here, for example, that's a symmetrical shape. They're all symmetrical shapes. 3 triangles? Could be. Well, I can't quite see that. It's not A. Those are not all symmetrical. Okay. But they are symmetrical. Sorry, I apologize. Not that one, not that one. And if you look here, you've got symmetrical shapes. So the answer is E. 2. Now these are going to get harder. Rectangles. Yep, 4 rectangles, that's they all have in common. They all have a line one side, but it doesn't matter how many. Now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. So it doesn't matter the number of lines. What about the number of dots? 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's have a look at the number of lines. Sorry, I counted the outside line. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 lines, 3 dots. Got 1 line, 1 dot. 1, 2, 3 lines, 3 dots. 2 lines, 2 dots, 2 lines, and 2 dots. Right. Shading? No, doesn't matter. Those are shaded, those are not. So I'm looking for a rectangle. Okay. I'm looking for dots and lines, and there has to be the same number of lines and the same number of dots. A, 1, 2, 3, and 1. B, 2 and 2. We know B is the answer. Okay, so if you've looked... Oh, and the other thing is, which I'm glad that one was there, it's reminded me, it has to be the same shading on the circles in the middle. Okay, 3 circles, 1 line, no. 2 circles, 4, can't touch that one, 2 and 4 lines on 1 circle, so that's why it's B. Let's go on to our next one. Okay, so the answer here, as you can see, is D. Again, let's have a look at our shapes. Let's have a look at what we have. 1, 2, 3 shapes. We've got one shape which gets overlapped or overlaps the other 2 shapes. Okay. Does it matter about overlapping? Well, these 2 don't do it. As you can see, that's a circle. You get your square in the middle. Got a triangle. Oh, hang on a sec. Has each shape got a triangle in it? Well, let's have a look at the shapes we've got. Triangle, circle, square. Triangle, circle, square. Circle, square, triangle. Triangle, circle, square. Or a rectilinear shape. Circle, triangle, square. So each shape must have, each one of these must have those 3 shapes. Well, let's have a quick look. Can we get rid of any? Well, that's got a circle, a triangle. Oh, 2 circles. No, get rid of it. 2 triangles, get rid of it. 2 triangles, get rid of that. That's got 2 rectilinear shapes, and as you can see, doesn't matter about the shading, but we have a triangle, a square, and a circle. Answer for this one is D. B, rather. Let's move on. Squiggly lines. Each one has got an arrowhead. The arrowheads are different. The line, these ones are diamond type shapes. This one's squiggly, and so is that one. Can't be A because that line's not squiggly at all. It's got 1 crossover, arrowhead. No, not squiggly. It's got to look like that. So that's a nice easy one. And B. Let's have a look. Again, same thing as one of the other ones. Let's have a look. It's E. Number of sides. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3. No, it doesn't. We've got these squares at the end of each of the angles. Okay, each of the corners rather. But these squares are covers, overlaps that. No, doesn't do it. No, the overlap is the wrong way around. Okay. This one, well, no, again, overlap wrong way around. And that one, no, because these 2 are pointing that way. If you notice, the shapes are, okay, overlaps wrong way around, and that's the right one, which way it's E. This one, by the way, if you notice, the square is laid on top of the shape beneath, so you can see it. These ones cover the shape underneath. Okay, the answer is B. Y, 1 straight line and arrowhead. Alright, there's no 2 arrowheads on them. There's a shape at the bottom. Are the shapes on the other opposite end of the lines the same? Yes, they are. Non-shaded circles. What about the number of lines? Does that make any difference? We've got 1 line, 1 circle. 3 circles, 3 lines. 2 lines, 2 circles, 1 line, 1 circle, 2 lines, 2 circles. So there we go. The number of lines and the number of circles need to be the same. At the end of each line there needs to be a non-shaded circle, and on the opposite end there needs to be an arrowhead. A, no 2 arrowheads. We know it's B, but we've got 1, 2, 3 lines, and there 2 lines, 1 circle. No, because that's not a straight line, and it's got 2 perpendicular lines and 1 circle, and yes, that's Y. Let's go on to our next one. Wait for things to change. My computer's being a bit slow today. Oops, there we go. Right, answer is as follows. C. Okay. Semicircular shape. We've got this bit at the bottom. It's a bit like a hat, a bit like a beanie, isn't it? And each of the shapes has vertical lines on it. Okay, at the top. Does it matter how close together they are? No, because these ones are closer together than that. Those are our things. Diagonal lines go away. No lines, crosses only. This one, there, well, as we can see, that's a hatched dots. Correct shape, but the wrong thing. So look, it's D. Why is it D? Well, 1, 2 lines, arrowhead. 1, 2 lines, arrowhead. 1, 2 lines, arrowhead, and so on. And if you notice on this line, we've got that grey shading bit there. And it's running parallel to the bottom line. Can't be A. We've only got one straight line. Can't be B because that is touching that line. If you notice, none of these touch. C can't be because that shaded line is in the wrong place. It needs to be there, or it would need to be there. And if you notice on this one, we've got our one line, we've got an arrowhead there, and we've got that shaded bit. This has got 2, so that has to be wrong. And finally, there we go. My fault. I didn't put the shading in for you. Okay, so one squiggly line, a circle at the end, triangle in the middle, square at the bottom, opposite end. Circle, triangle, square. So that is something that is common to each. We have a square one side, triangle in the middle, and circle there. And it's one continuous line. Well, let's have a look. No, because we've got a triangle on the end there. No, not to that either, because even though we do have a square, does it matter? No, we've got a circle in the middle. Has to be a triangle. Circle, triangle, square. But why is it different? What's the difference between them? Well, does it matter? Let's have a quick look. Could be that one, couldn't it? What about the direction of the triangle? Is it pointing towards a circle? Yes, it is. So that's why you've got to be careful, see? That triangle's pointing the wrong way. Can't be that one, can't be that one. Triangle pointing to the circle. That's why it's C. Last, squares with 4 smaller squares in the middle. Each of the 4 smaller squares, one has not shading, one has got a black circle, the other one's blacked out, shaded out, and one's got a cross. Circle, shaded, cross. Circle, shaded, cross. Circle, shaded, cross, circle, circle, shaded, and cross. So each one has got those. Does it matter which way they are? Doesn't seem to, does it? Not really. Can't be that one. That's got too many squares inside. It's got 2 crosses. That one's got 2 circles. So that's our answer. Well, I hope you managed to get them all right. If you haven't, then I also hope that some of this has helped and you to get it right next time. So big well done to everyone who completed the You Could as activities as well. So if you've done these ones, okay, don't forget those ones that you will do, and somebody at home will mark those for you. Well, take care, and we'll be back again. Thank you. Bye.